most of us know that they can. But they're asking for raises for their employees, and the shape we're in right now, I don't think that anybody ought to be asking for anything extra. And I just want you to keep in mind that this has been back on the floor about the schools closing. And we need to know a copy of this.
Yeah,
We do. Anybody want one? Or just sign that? I made it up for everybody who want one. Like I said, I thought I would look over there. This was addressed to me from the Board of Education. It's not anything that I have brought up. This was mailed to me. I had asked for this for, well, probably 2 years ago. And I finally did get it mailed to me. I can get these pulled apart here. I'll be all right. I've got some extras in the, what extras I call them. If anybody else on. But I would just appreciate y'all to keep in mind that, like I said, right here is my envelope. Y'all can see it's got Board of Education's address on it. And that's the same thing I've got right here as I made copies for you all. But I just like you to keep in mind how bad this is going to hurt. And I don't think it's going to save us that much money to look at this and then somebody could figure the figures on wire and tire, who you're going to spend, and all the extra. You know, I think that it's common sense to help our community and keep our schools open. Thank you. And I wouldn't have brought this up at this time if it hadn't been in the newspaper. But since it was in the newspaper, I wanted to bring that out, and I wanted to take up for my commissioners of this county, not just the 3 that's for, or the 6 that's for back feeders being in Kepler. I wanted to take up for all of you because I don't think you all are to blame.
all right, we have resolution 2017-0501 introduced by Commissioner Stacy Walker.
Before I introduce this resolution, go down to the third sentence in that resolution, where it says, whereas one of the commission terms and one of the farms and one farm limit term had expired, you can mark out the next term where it says that one commission seat was vacated by the commissioner did not seek re-election. At the beginning of that sentence, it should say, whereas 2 of the commission terms had expired. Resolution in reference to approval of reappointment of County Agricultural Extension Committee. Whereas the County Commission approves the County Agricultural Extension Committee appointments and reappointments as per Commisison Code annotated 4950-104. And whereas the committee must be made up of at least 3 commissioners, 2 farm men and 2 farm women. And whereas 2 of the commission terms and 1 farm man and 1 farm women term have expired. The Agricultural Extension Office is asking for the following persons to be approved as committee members. Commissioner Sybil Trent, January 1st, 2017, December 31st, 2018. Commissioner Peter Davis, January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2018. Farm woman Alice Brooks, January 1st, 2017, December 31st, 2018. Farm man Jim Jones, January 1st, 2017, December 31st, 2018. Other committee members and terms are as follows. Commissioner Dwight Carter, January 1, 2016, December 31st, 2017. Farm woman Mary Ann Davis, January 1, 2016, December 31, 2017. Farm man Mike Weininger, January 1st, 2016, December 31st, 2017. Therefore, be it resolved that the aforementioned persons be approved as members of the County Agricultural Extension Committee for the said term of office. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Barnes, second by Commissioner Christian. Any discussion? Mr. Castle.
Yes, on this agriculture committee, I was wondering if Alpha Field should have been considered. He's the only man on the committee to make a living in the soil every day.
They put it up by district.
Any other discussion? Mr. Revere.
Someone had asked me if they wanted to clarify, are people that's on a committee such as this, are they on county commissioner.
No.
Either is
Fire department.
either is the workhouse. Any other discussion? Commissioner Brewer.
The only question I have, this agricultural extension office, they were the one that requested this.
Yes, sir, the committee.
But agricultural commission office,
Blake Ramsey, is he here? Yes, he came from the agricultural office with Jack Price and Blake Ramsey as the agents.
they were the letter for that.
They was the one that gave us the letter.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
They were the letter.
Okay, Commissioner Lucas.
Why we got two from District One?
Too much.
Why we got two from District One? So, and Dwight.
When I said districts, it's not commission districts, it's ends of the county. They try to pick people from. They don't load it all up on one end of the county. Well, just tell me what you want to do, and I'll try to make a resolution to fix you. I don't know, nobody.
I think Russia has something to do with
Any other discussion? None cast your vote. All right, next we have resolution 2017-050.
Resolution in reference to approval to limit internal committee meetings to quarterly meetings or no less, or no more than 4 in a fiscal year unless a critical issue arises. Whereas Hawkins County is facing a budget deficit in fiscal year 2017-18, in an effort to help reduce the general fund expenditures, county commission is being asked to limit all internal committees paid from general fund line item 55-100-199 to meet no more than quarterly or 4 times per year to help conserve tax dollars. And whereas if a meeting to conduct critical county business arises, the chairman of such committee shall call for a special call meeting of said committee. And whereas if a special call meeting has taken place, then at the next regular scheduled commission meeting, the said chairman will report to the commission why the meeting was called and the results of the meeting. And whereas this action will reduce the cost of a committee that has been meeting on a monthly basis from $4,200 to $1,400 per year. This will also help reduce the amount of time spent in processing minutes and corresponding documents. Whereas since budget cuts are being requested, this is an effort on behalf of county commission to reduce general fund spending. Therefore, be resolved that all internal committees paid from general fund line item 51-100-199 meet no more than quarterly or 4 times per year, and special call meetings to be allowed only to conduct critical county business, with the chairman reporting the reason and the result of the special call meeting at the next regular scheduled county commission meeting. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Vaughn, second by Commissioner Christian. Voted up for discussion.
Yes, what do you consider critical? Is safety critical or what? Safety.
Is safety critical? I think if there's a critical safety issue arises, the county has a safety director that should be notified first of any safety. I don't feel that would be a county commission problem if it pertains to safety or something. I think that would be our safety director.
Commissioner Brewer.
I listen to the tape that Mr. Moonheart said, he was talking about the pay and stuff. I like to amend this resolution where committee meetings will get $17.50. Regular commission meeting, we get $35. And then that includes budget committee also.
I don't think that you amended it.
statute, the committees get one half the pay of what the regular meeting is. And so you couldn't change that to something lower than that because of the statute.
So I can turn in a resolution next month to change this.
Well, you got to come up by state statute that says it. So you have to go to the state and give the county authority to pay us.
He will be paying
Oh, the day they are. Yes. If it's a legal issue, I ask Mr. Phillips before.
Well, you got something pending that needs to be acted on, would that not be considered proof?
Yes. Yeah.
You got some pending business. That's one.
Yeah, I mean, critical to me, a lot of different things. Okay, let's see. Mr. Brown.
I guess I'm old school, but I think if you save a little out here and a little out there, pretty soon it adds up. And, you know, I'm for saving whatever we can save.
Amen.
But, I guess my question, and I don't know the answer to this, the reason I'm asking this question is, could we not dissolve all these committees and take and appoint one commissioner if they wanted to serve in their expertise field over that, and ask citizens to serve on these committees, and we'd get a whole lot better input on some of these things I can see. Would that be legal?
No, I don't think you could. The committees that we function that have to constitute members of the county commission, you couldn't do away with that and put outside on. The only time you put outside on is when by statute.
Is that a statute that the county commission is enacted, or is that a state statute?
The statute says that the county appoints the committees of its members. Yes, there is a statute that says that.
I got a couple of questions to clarify some of Commissioner Matt's, I'll just use a solid waste as an example. So what, John asked me what you were talking about, and what the Joe's thing here. Say solid waste is a meeting and something needs to be, handled, it would be your job to say, or not a meeting to either say, yeah, we're moving these funds one place or the other, or this is what I'm gonna call critical, I'm gonna ask advice from the commission.
That's
Okay.
solid waste.
I'm just using this example.
Just solid waste as an example. Solid waste budget and employees and amendments all fall under the county manager, not the solid waste.
But now this workhouse board of commissioners does have to be approved by the commission, and it also has to be funded by the commission. And that will be a new line item in this budget, this upcoming budget, of what's been in solid waste. It won't affect the general fund, but what has been proposed is $100 per month, and that includes their mileage. They do not qualify, they're considered contracted labor, they don't qualify for health insurance or whatever else. So now that would be solid waste committee approval for at least county commission.
Only other question I have, I guess, is for you to go, you can answer. And just want to clarify on the record here, while we've got a full house, and you can correct me here, the regular, normal county commissioner makes $1,800, $2,500 a year, is that right? Is that right? Would it be close to say somewhere in there? I mean, we're not making $18,000 or $30,000 or $25,000 or anything else. We make $1,800, $2,000 a year, right? I just want to clarify that for everybody.
There you go, Dawson.
Pardon my ignorance, but all I have heard in the last 2 months is cut, cut, cut. Okay, we're trying to cut things that pertain to us. Why can't we
County Board of Commission in regular session met this 22nd day of May 2017. Resolution in reference approval to increase tipping fee for tires brought to the recycle center for the disposal from 70 cents to $1 per tire. Whereas each resident is allowed to bring 8 tires per year to the recycle center for disposal. If disposing of more tires than yearly limit, the county is allowed to charge a tipping fee to help offset the cost of disposal of said tires. And whereas per resolution 2001-08-06, approval was given for the Hawkins County to collect from residents used tire dealers or business or changing tires of own fleet. A tipping fee surcharge for tires brought to the recycle center for disposal. The amount approved for collection of 70 cents per passenger tire and $3.50 per truck tire. And whereas the recycle center does not have a petty cash on hand, and oftentimes the resident will bring in tires and do not have the correct amount of money for the tipping fee. Therefore, the recycle center employees makes the change and has to be reimbursed. And whereas on April 7, 2017, the Solid Waste Committee met and approved an increase in the tipping fee of the amount to $1 for passenger tires, leaving the truck tire fee at $3.50. Therefore, be it resolved, the amount of the tipping fee collected will increase from 70 cents to $1 per tire that is being disposed at the recycle center. Said increased collection will begin June 1st, 2017. I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Wilkins, second by Commissioner Christian. Any discussion?
I apologize for not already asking you this. This is not to try to raise funds, it's just more or less to make a change.
Right. A lot of people bring in $1 dime, and these people's got to scrounge up 30 cents or whatever to get it. This is just to save people from having to get change. So people got to pay change to make it back. And a lot of people just go ahead and give them the $1 anyway, so just keep it.
Commissioner White.
And Charlie may be able to answer this more. So, when you buy a tire, you pay $1 for disposal fee. Where does that go, Charlie? Explain that.
Goes to the state.
Goes to the state. So when we take a tire to recycling center, what do y'all do with it? Would you ship it to where?
We ship it to the end user.
To where?
To the end user. Liberty Tire gets it.
I don't know what it is.
Liberty Tire gets it.
Recycle.
They recycle.
Do they charge you to bring them down?
Yes, they do. We're not making money off of it, that's what you're asking.
Well, I ain't asking that, but the dollar fee from the state, originally it was said that they would bring a grinder up there and grind them, but, and that didn't work out, right? So, and it ain't your question, maybe, but why do we have to pay $1 fee, you know, where does it?
Are you talking about to the state?
Yeah.
See, when you go buy a set of tires, you're kind of, it goes back in the day, on the lost tire, I get a set of tires, they charge me $1 or $25 or $35 per tire. And they get a portion of the cost of the county. That's the end of the state. So we used to have a tire grant, which they would send money back. So it's based on the weight, and we have to pay to get the tractor, the trailer full. It's sort of a wash. Now, if we get a bunch of tires that's been thrown on the side of the road, the county needs every bit of that. So if somebody leaves 50 tires there in your driveway, and our solid waste people goes out and gets them, the county's going to be out probably about $50 and dispose of those tires.
That's all.
All right, any other discussion? If there's none, Commissioner Bowden, I'll turn it over.
Mr. Mayor, if I can, we have a question on this board that, our committee came up with, and so we got an answer from our lawyer on this. It's okay if I read this first?
Go ahead.
Okay, per your request, it is my opinion that a four-person board of courthouse commissioners may be elected by the Hawkins County Commission, per, TCA 41-2-104. Since the statute does not mandate that all or some of these commissioners must be county commissioners, it is in my opinion that the person to Tennessee common law, the county commissioners may not elect themselves as members or members of the Board of Workhouse Commission. So, that was one of the questions, why can't we be on that commission, be as one of the commissioners on that commission? We can't do it because the law, they say that we can't elect ourselves to the board. So, we can't serve on the board if we elect ourselves to. Does that make sense to everybody?
I might confirm that the county technical advisor concurs in that opinion.
All right, I'm gonna go. All right. To the Honorable Melvin Bailey, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission in regular session, met this 22nd day of May, 2017. Resolution in reference to the Board of Workhouse Commissioners. Whereas the Hawkins County Jail has been a workhouse jail for several years with the Sheriff's Department correction officers taking prisoners out to do the work duties. And whereas the sheriff has agreed to allow nonviolent prisoners to pick up trash on those roadways in the county if workhouse commission is established and a recycle center employees become TCI certified, and whereas per code, TCA code 41-2-104, the workhouse commission shall consist of 4 people for the following 2 terms, shall serve for 1 term, 1 year, and 2 for 2-year terms, and annual, therefore, in January, the county legislative body shall elect 2 workhouse commissioners for a term of 2 years. The county mayor shall be the ex officio chair of the board, and whereas the following people shall be appointed as the workhouse commission. 1-year term, Tim Simpson, Churchill, Tennessee. 1-year term, Bill Young, Edson, Tennessee. 2-year term, David Browning, Rogersville, Tennessee. 2-year term, Jerry Jones, Rogersville, Tennessee. Whereas compensation said committee per members will be $100 per meeting, which includes mileage and site visits, 14 meetings, and 1 monthly with allowance of 2 emergency meetings has been budgeted. The following budget is as follows. Committee fee, $5,600. Social Security, $429. Office supplies, $100, for a total of $6,129. This will be paid from the solid waste budget and will be in the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget. Therefore, be it resolved that aforementioned people be appointed as Board of Workhouse Commissioners to allow litter on the highway roadways to pick up and more efficiently by using nonviolent prisoners. I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Lee, so we have a second. Second by Commissioner Pratt. Discussion. If there's none, cast your vote.
Now, just to clarify, there's 3 options to be able to do this, correct? County commission or creating this commission, being under the responsibility of the mayor's office, or being under the responsibility of the sheriff. Those
The sheriff's ultimately responsible for it. Either way, he's the workhouse supervisor, superintendent.
So,
Right, Mayor?
Yes.
being that based on TCA code, you've got those 3 options, what prompted the committee to recommend this option aside from the other 2 options?
Because they have to go out, we needed somebody to go out and look at it. Per the code, they have to go out to each site. And be involved wherever they're at, it could be across the mountain, up Kepler or wherever it may be, and they have to travel to these sites so many times.
So if you got people on two different roads picking them up, they need at my office, code specifically says that they need the mayor's office. And then from there, those committee members can either split up and go, say, you got somebody in the lower end of Cleveland, you got somebody up here in Goshen, or they can track, you know, I mean, they could. Yes, question, let's see who's next. Are we still, okay, we're moving back, okay. Commissioner, well, I believe Brewer was that.
Go ahead. What are they actually doing to the sites?
They're making sure that we don't have them out working, mowing my grass and weed eating and stuff like that. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, you know, there's been areas out there where people get inmates out and they use them for various and sundry things that they're not supposed to be using them for. And so that's just a safeguard that the county will have in place to make sure that these people are actually doing what we got out there to be doing. And they won't be sitting under a shade tree. They don't actually do the supervising. Mr. Freeman, our solid waste director back there, he's been through training, extensive training, 40-hour training. And he's had, how many employees? 3 employees to go through 40-hour training. TCI, I'm pretty sure. The same training that officers go through. Now, the sheriff is assured me that these will be nonviolent. They're not going to be a problem to watch, because if they are, Sheriff Lawson, Chief Deputy Tony Allen said they would come back out, and he does what he says he'll do.
Let me make one more point, Mayor, because I've had a lot of Facebook messages and phone calls because the sheriff said men. Well, you can't have men and women out on these sites together. They get 2 for 1, 2 days for 1 for doing this. Well, the mayor has got the women working in the laundry and other places. So they still get the 2 for 1. It's not just the men, but we'd have to have women out there supervising and have them separated, so it's gonna cost a lot more money to do that. So the sheriff offers them 2 for 1 in the cafeteria and laundry. So he's not, being prejudiced against women or nothing. It's just that you can't have men and women out there on the roads together.
If you do the math on this thing, 6 people, if we just have 6 inmates a day, at 6 hours, that's 36 hours of work per week, 52 weeks per day, $6,129. When
you say sites, that's actually where they're picking up.
Now, some of them may be down at the recycling center, because, you know, we're still in the process of trying to figure out how we're going to get them to where they're going.
And if you get the calls that I get over the trash out on the highways and stuff, this is a good deal.
Yeah.
And it gives the officers out of the jail up there and giving them something to do.
Well, is these gonna be armed officers?
No, it's non-violent. These are non-violent.
Call the question.
Okay, call the question. All right. I can imagine, let's look at the official bills. Rick, did you get away with it?
No, the question I have, I'm all about picking up litter.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, it is just deal. We come up with this $6,000 some odd dollars when we're trying to cover committee meetings and everything else to try to save money. I mean,
Yeah, I will clarify that this money is coming out of solid waste fund, which is not operating in a deficit and is self-sustaining, and that's one of the questions that came up last time, is how are we going to fund this through general fund, we're already looking at a deficit. We talked with the county audit, and we are able to pay this out of the solid waste fund. So this is not coming out of the general fund, it's not going to affect the general fund budget. So I should have said that.
Yeah.
Mr. Fields, you still weak?
Yeah, wait a minute, where's our community service people?
We'll have to ask somebody to say something. Okay,
Anybody here to
that's
talk
all I'm
about
gonna say about that. Okay,
Our community service people, anybody know what we're talking about now?
You'll have to ask somebody. You'll have to ask
Nobody
somebody.
answer that question.
Can we go up with, anyway, mother, like I was saying,
Judge draw some out.
Okay, all right. But the other thing to say, and I think it's important that, you know, I appreciate you guys taking this last month, because I wrote those questions, y'all answered them all. I do appreciate it. I still stand firm in my decision last month, but just wondering if I am going to be staying for this vote because of the family member being nominated. So that is my decision to make, and I just want to make it public. That's why I am staying, not one way or the other. I think you should.
All right, you would cast your vote to determine that. Correct. All right, next we have resolution 27-052 of the city, introduced by Commissioner Stacy.
Mr. Chairman, resolution to reference budget amendment, general fund. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Vaughn, second by Commissioner Christian, discussion. None, cast your vote and determine the vote. Okay, and next we have resolution 2017-0507, introduced by Commissioner Stacy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution to reference general purpose school fund budget amendment. Whereas the Hawkins County Board of Education has approved the attached budget amendment to general purpose school fund and now requests approval of said amendment by the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners meet in regular session, May 22nd, 2017, will record passing this resolution. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Vaughn, second by Commissioner Christian. Any discussion? Commissioner Stacy.
Yes, on the first page, I have two questions. The first block says expenditures, number 6. Other contracted service, we're taking $7,000 out of that. Is that way overestimated or what?
No, actually, we're increasing that evaluation and testing, and that's due to the fact that we were issuing tests, NCRC tests, National School Readiness Certificate tests for students, and we budgeted $2,500 from the grant. We've had much higher participation and pass rate. As of today, we have 247 students who earned this national recognition, so we're increasing money that line. Thank you.
I don't know, the attendance, number, got a 3 there. I don't know what it means. You had $10,203 for insurance. Did we miss the estimate of $12,000 or what?
We hired a new employee and somebody took insurance and somebody else had it on, if I'm not mistaken.
I've seen down through here, several times insurance is being moved. That stood out.
Well, it was a big, last year was uncertain for us on insurance because previously last year we were offering the state plans, partnership, standard, limited, and CDHP. With the limited, we were offering what we referred to as a gap insurance. There was 235 people that were on that limited gap plan. State came back through and said you can no longer offer that gap plan. So we didn't know where those 235 people were going to go. So we budgeted for them to take the highest priced option, not knowing what was going to happen during open enrollment in October. So we feel like we'll have a better handle on that this year. You want to talk about it?
I can.
Come on up.
All right.
Come on up.
We need to cut some more, and so does Ronnie Lawson. Let's get this budget on the right track here, fellas.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You would cast your vote and determine.
Don't know in 30 seconds if it's gonna fail.
Thank you, Chairman. Resolution reference numbers, Richard Green, U.S. Bank, Rockville, Tennessee, Brian Oscar, Eastern City, Eastwood, Tennessee, Solomon Price, East Tennessee, Aaron Melville, Gap, Tennessee, Rick Quarles, Hawkins County Board of Education, Rockville, Tennessee, Ginger Walters, Eastern Credit Union, Kingsport, Tennessee, Donald Williams, Unique Auto Broker, Kingsport, Tennessee. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hess, including casting vote, This is making recess. Right now, 5 minutes after, let's be back in here, 15 minutes after.
Well, I would be willing to bet a week's pay this is not going to make it. So,
How can that be possible?
one person is going to say no, because it takes 21 to just get down the agenda. So it only takes one person to say no. So, I mean, I might be wrong. I would be surprised if we don't have one person who would object. Well,
We like skip everyone's house like this. Skip his house.
well, that's what they want. I think some of them.
No, I think you're right.
No, I'm gonna see if I can get this man right here's attention. Would you care to be interviewed? Not right now. Well, I just wanted to ask you how much of a lick would it be to lose $50,000? Okay. Well, what about Corey?
Why don't you guys ask these stars about the insurance? Theirs was a $3 million.
Well, this is the county commission, so let's worry about that.
That's been about 7 years ago.
Hey, anybody want to be interviewed live?
No. Nothing's happened yet.
Well, tell me, what do you think would be the consequences of the state takeover?
The state takeover?
Yeah.
If they cut all the non-discretionary funds, such as emergency services, the citizens of this county is going to suffer dramatically.
And tell me how.
You're not going to have any fire protection.
rescue squad may work for a while, they're not gonna be guaranteed because the people can't support it. How are they gonna operate? How are they gonna put fuel and train, buy equipment? There's no way. You know, the people wants the services. The people's gonna have to pay for it. The county's cut as far as they can cut. I mean, it's down to bare bones.
Okay. All right. You're live. He knows he's live. You didn't say anything he hasn't already said.
I was just
You want to talk? Okay. Well, I got to figure out something to do with this 5 minutes. Where's Can you get Steve's attention for me? Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Would you care to be interviewed about what's going on? Because I know your all's department runs pretty tight on the budget, don't you? Just all I want to ask you is, how hard would it be on you all to experience a $19,000 cut to your?
It's going to be hard on us. It's going to cut us really bad. I've only been fire chief for about 6 months now, and we've already doing updating air pads, truck repairs, different things like that. We've done spent over about $14,000. We still got our building payment fixing to come out, our insurance fixing to come out. And if we lose $19,000 a year, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm already looking to shut one station down already.
Really? So, and you cover a pretty big territory, don't you?
Yeah, we cover from Hancock County, the other side of Hawkins County, and Indian.
How hard is that going to be on your residents? Because you all are real spread out up there in Clinch.
Well, like I say, we got 2 stations. If we close this one, it's really going to make a big
Okay, all right. Appreciate you talking to me. Hey, congratulations on that, your daughter's win. That was pretty awesome.
Thank you, sir.
When are y'all racing the trucks? I hope it don't rain. Man, that rain's been killing y'all, hasn't it?
It's rained out the last 2 races.
Yeah, I hope Kingsport's probably had 4 rainouts this year so far. Yeah. All right. Well.
It's not good on the sponsors.
No. All righty. Thanks. Hey, I was being a roving reporter. Hey, Julie. Oh, you, come here for a second. Yeah. Let me get a quick interview from you. We're live on Facebook.
Okay.
Now you're with the Hawkins County Humane Society, right?
I'm with the Hawkins County Humane Society.
Yeah. Talk real loud.
I'm with the Hawkins County Humane Society.
Okay. Now you guys are facing a potential $23,000 cut if the state takes over. Tell me what that's going to mean to the Hawkins County Humane Society.
A full cut, a 10% cut, a 20% cut is going to close us permanently. 95% of our revenue goes to keeping the doors open. That's utilities and payroll. We get everything donated from litter, food, even toilet paper. We don't pay for any supplies. So we're very good stewards of our funding. Only 5% of our funding goes to animal care, which is terrible as it is. So if any percentage, 2%, 3%, 5%, or 100% gets cut, it's going to go directly to the animal care. We can't afford it. The animals can't afford it.
Can you think, can any of the cities, or how could you make up this loss?
We won't be able to make up the loss. We beg and fundraise to a point now where I don't think there's any more to give in the community.
Yeah.
Other counties are funded 10 times as much as we are. It's already irresponsible to fund us as little as they do. It's already irresponsible to fund us as little as they do.
Okay.
So we can't be cut either.
How many animals do you have right now?
Right now we have about 140, and we just implemented a spay and neuter before they go out. So we're really proud of that. Again, that's not gonna. We've had to raise our prices a little bit, but it's worth the hype.
Okay. And what would Hawkins County be like without animal control?
It'll be a public safety issue. It'll be a health issue. There'll be animals running around all over the place. Spay and neuter. There will be population control. There's all sorts of problems that will come from cutting our funding.
So what would you like to see happen tonight?
The wheel tax. Passed.
Okay. All right. They're going back to order. Thanks. So far, so good.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Commissioner Barrett is out of town, but he wanted to go on record that he is in favor of a wheel tax. And he said he was going to do a letter, and I don't think he did or not, because I was in and out of the office. It does not count as a vote. It takes 14 votes, 2 months in a row. So we're going to have a balanced budget by the end of June 30th. Common sense will tell you that we're in May. So there's 2 possible county commission meetings, and it has to be a regular scheduled meeting. It cannot be a special call meeting. This is a regular scheduled meeting, and we'll have a regular scheduled meeting in June, and at that time, we will probably either have to pass a budget then, or we will have to have a special call meeting before July 1 to pass a budget. So, you know, we're at the threshold, or whatever you want to call it. So I want to recognize Commissioner Vaughn. Budget committee worked real hard. They went in, and some of you asked for cuts. And there's been cuts, you know, proposed out there, and I'm not in favor of cuts. I mean, and again, I'm going to be, you know, I'm just going to be a citizen here. I'm coming up the road Saturday, and I get down here at Napa, and there's such a group of men, volunteers, with cups out there, take that money. And that same group of people, that if our house were on fire, they're coming. If they get there, even if they drive their own vehicles, they're going to come. Not only my house, but your house. So I'm saying all that to say this. We need to be really, really careful, because the easiest thing to look at is nonprofits. But when you look at what a nonprofit actually does for Hawkins County, it makes my job a lot easier. So having said all that, I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Vaughn, and I'm going to try to be quiet. I promise you, I'm going to try to be quiet. Commissioner Vaughn.
Mr. Chairman, I move for suspension of the rules for introduction by oral resolution.
Motion by Commissioner Bill.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gilman. Do we vote on the? All right. So I guess, okay, Commissioner Brewer.
we have to vote to suspend the rules to consider this resolution. And out of respect to each and every one on this county commission, I want you to tell me why that I need to vote yes to suspend these rules to let this come on board.
Well, I'll take staff and action that first commission, as well as all commissions. I set that meeting with Chief of Staff Jason Mumpower, and it was an embarrassment when he looked at me, and the other committee members standing there, and he said, if you only met all year long, and the only thing you accomplished was setting the budget and setting the tax rate, you did your job as a commissioner. And he sat there and he said, there's things each commissioners want to see, they want to take care of, such as the firemen you see standing out here, the rescue squad. And he said, you make a comment, if you like these, fund these. He said, because if something isn't done, and we come in, those are all discretionary funds, and he said, we will eliminate 100% of those. And it goes a lot deeper than just cutting the fire department, because that goes out and reaches lives of all the citizens in the county. It affects industry, it affects homeowners insurance. It's a big risk to take. And there's 21 of us sitting up here, but I have to look out for the welfare of nearly 60,000 people in this county. And I just can't, in good conscience, sit by and not try my best to fund what this county needs. And
I'll be the first to say that these guys who volunteer their time out here in the fire department does a great job. A job that I can't do. And we've got law enforcement out here that work for a lot of them make more jobs than what they're making doing their jobs. And I wouldn't have a job, there's not enough money to get me to do the job. But this is where I'm at. I appreciate being lied to. Let me be kind, being misled. Let me just be real kind about it. Let's just be being misled and put the blame on, for instance, just like Patty said before this meeting. It's all our fault right now because they're going to have to close 2 schools because it's their fault. And let me tell you, I'm a new commissioner. About a year, a little over a year now. And I wasn't here in 2014 when the schools came with a sob story that they didn't have no money, they was out of money, $2 billion deficit. And half the house would like to have a 25% tax increase. But then at the special call meeting, they came back and says, out of respect to county commission, we asked for a 12-cent tax increase. That's going to generate $1 million. We're going to take the other $1 million out of the fund balance. But we're slow. That's going to drag us below $5 million in our fund balance. Now get this, we're $2 million that we got to have. We're going to, a deficit. Okay? I do the math on that. That tax in 2 years generates $2.2 million. Not $1 million, $2.2 million. Mr. Strong, we asked you this question in committee, and you said, well, we were actually broke. We're just going down the road that you all were going down. That was your answer. But when you do the math on that, if that was below $5 million, they had to pay that whole $2.2 million, operate the schools for 2 years, and you would have thought that would have been another $1 million the next year out of it, and end up with $10.1 million fund balance in 2016. Now, when you come to county commission and unfortunately, I'm glad I wasn't on county commission with the sob story that teachers is going to lose their jobs. We're going to have to cut coaches' positions. gotta have good law enforcement. And to me, if you've not got good law enforcement, that rest of it goes down the pipes anyway. Because if it's not safe for you to get outside your house, are you going to send your kids to school if it's not safe? No. But we've got to have good law enforcement. And I know that we have spent a lot of money on law enforcement. But when you take money, misleading county commission, then you're taking away from the other things that's in the general fund that money went to. And I'm not saying that. It's easy to point fingers that it's county commission's fault, it's his fault. That's been going on since the beginning of time. Started with Eve and Adam. You know, that's been going on. It's easy for me to blame somebody. But, you know, if I'd voted yes on this wheel tax and it's already passed, I don't think that would change the school budget any, because they was none of that for the school budget. But I've got calls saying it's my fault because teachers was getting laid off. And now it's my fault because they're talking about closing 2 schools. And I don't, you know, I got big shoulders. If you want to blame me, blame me. But I'm going to stand up for the taxpayer at this time. And I'm going to vote yes on this to put it on the floor. I think that needs to happen. It needs to go on the floor. But I can tell you right now, I'm not voting for no wheel tax. Right now. When we get a budget in place, to know exactly how much money. Will we have a budget to vote on next month?
You should have a copy of your second draft budget.
But will we get to vote on
That will be the budget after the workshop. We'll meet the commissioners and we'll see what.
I've got a budget.
We have to have it. We've been put on notice. We have to have a budget approved by July 1.
But this is where I'm at. It is unfair for me to ask every taxpayer sitting in this audience and in this county to tighten your belt and contribute more money in taxes when the county cannot tighten their belt as tight as they can and cut everything they can. And let me finish. You let me finish, okay? Just let me finish. And I'm saying, let's start the county commission. I had a proposal put in place when I was just new that we could have cut $300,000 at one time. That was last year. And I presented it. I said, I'm not going to make a motion to do it. But if we'd done it, we'd been able to cut it off.
Well,
I will vote really. I will vote yes.
Let me explain how that works with the $300,000 cut. We have a projected in fund balance of $860-some thousand. That fund balance come in nearly $1 million to the good because of the savings from the county office holders and the department. So in lieu of just cutting that $300,000, we were able to come in with nearly $1 million. So we had an ending balance instead of $860-some thousand. We had an ending balance of $1.8 million is what we come in with to start with.
I commend all office holders for doing so.
So there was a savings, and they did save.
I commend all office holders for doing so. I will vote yes to suspend the rules. But I'll tell you right now, all the notes for the tax, we get a budget in place, and it says how much money we actually need.
Either way, you won't get that. Mr. Gary, I would like for each one of you all that's on any kind of public safety to stand up. Why to stand up if you're on public safety? That being said, let me explain something here. I was 100% against wheel tax for a while. Y'all know that. I stood up against it and I fought against it. I wanted some cuts made. I'm on the budget committee and I said 10 hours
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna vote here in a few minutes. And I hope that everybody's got the same heart I have, and you gotta put Hawkins County in mind, and you gotta put our public safety in mind. We cannot stand here and say no, 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 and let our firefighters and the EMS rescue squad go. Until you need one of them, we'll need them. That's all I got to say. I mean, I've said my part. I've seen my cuts. I've seen what I want to cut out of stuff. And I'll tell you another thing too. Our veterans. When they said they were going to cut our veterans out, the money out of the veterans, our firefighters, our rescue squad, we're not getting paid nothing. I changed on that, people. I'm for the wheel tax.
But everywhere else, what is it, a 5-mile radius out from here, out into the county, we have what, a 550-mile radius county, is that correct? Yeah, 50, well, and I think we need the fire department. I personally had a family member within the last 2 months. They lost their home. It took the fire department 20 minutes to get to them. They owned a 3-layer, 3 chalet, and they lost their home completely. So yes, I am for the wheel tax. And I am for actually giving the fire departments more money. And I'm sorry, but take it away from EMS. Why do I say that? EMS is a profit organization. They're not non-profit. They're profit. They bill you to pick you up. Now take that $30,000 and give it to the 5 or 6 fire departments. Because those trucks, Rivers, how much does a truck cost? Okay, these guys get out on the street every day, well, lots of times when they're permitted, and take up donations. If we don't have our volunteer fire departments, guess what, people? If you're a homeowner, your homeowner's insurance is going to drop you because you don't have insurance coverage. Oh, they might cover a tornado, but if your house catches on fire and you lose your home, you lose your dwelling, you lose your furniture, you lose everything. Now, I know what I'm talking about because I have called my insurance, and I live 2 miles from a fire department. But if I live out in Clinch or Kepler, wherever, you know, they're going to lose their homes. We're going to lose our homes even if we're close to a fire department because nobody's going to go out there. And each one of you commissioners need to take a hard look at one thing. If you're going to increase our wheel tax, that wheel tax money, number one, how long are you looking to increase it for? A year, 5 years, or forever?
It's probably never come up.
Yeah, they'll never take it. Okay, then I would like to see every dime of that money go into the general fund, and nobody gets raises, nobody buys anything else. Now, I don't care to pay my part of the wheel tax, but I don't want the thought of a property tax because, number one, you're not getting everyone that drives our county roads. And we don't need no money going to anybody. That money needs to stay in an account. Don't be spending it. Because if you're spending it, then you're just going to put us back in the same shape again. So save that money, be diligent with that money. Protect that money as it is your own. Now, I mean, I'm sorry, but we don't need to be buying everything. We don't need to be doing that because as taxpayers, and we don't have the money. So freeze that money, Melvin. It needs to be froze. It needs to be put in an account where you only dip into it when it is an emergency or whatever. Not to be paying anything, not to be buying anything. Sorry, you got a budget, you work within your budget. But leave the firefighters alone. I want to know they're there to protect me. I had a sister almost died in a fire. And this was in the last 2 months. Yes, it was another county, but it took 20 minutes because she lived on lakefront for a fire department to get to her and her house. First, second floor was gone and the third floor was on fire. So listen, guys, be honest with our money, do the wheel tax, and if I'm not mistaken, if you don't vote on it tonight, then Mumpower's coming in. Because it's supposed to be, what, 2 consecutive meetings? It has to be voted on. So if you don't vote it tonight, we all might as well forget it. Because he stated he would not hit the taxpayers, and we're going to have a lot of things done. I know y'all call all this mess, and maintenance agreements and all this stuff. Start giving. Sorry. Live within your budget. Okay?
Okay, I want to recognize Commissioner Burrell, and I want to ask if we recognize the citizens. If we're going to put you back on for 4 minutes.
We need to put it on the floor first.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. You know, that everybody does. We're trying to.
Don't vote again if it's all not going to the general fund.
Okay. So, Commissioner Burrell, do you want to speak now, or do you want to get it on the floor of this? That makes more sense to me, but if we don't get it on the floor, obviously we're talking about it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. Does that make sense? Okay, now we can leave that. We have to take it off. Okay. Yeah, you want to speak now, or you want to? Okay. All right, let's get on the floor. Now we've got Commissioner Burrell, Commissioner Lucas, and Commissioner Newton. All right, so we're going to clear the board. We're voting on the I should have Commissioner Bond do this. I said up with Commissioner Bond.
No, you're in the right, Mr. Chairman. What you're going to do now, you're going to vote in order to accept and allow the out-of-order resolution to come on the floor.
For that to happen, there cannot be a no vote. For that to happen. You ready?
Yes, put it on the floor, no, I do.
Well, time for your battery to go dead. We got that vote.
Guess I lost a week's pay.
First of all, I want to thank first of all, I want to thank the commission for letting me come to the floor for further discussion and or amendments. Resolution 2017-0501 introduced as an out of order. Resolution reference increase the wheel tax from 27 to 67, an increase of $40, with 30 of the increase going to general fund and $10 to a public safety reserve as defined within this resolution. Whereas the Hawkins County General Fund will once again be in a deficit position for the coming fiscal year 2017-18. budget with continued dire circumstances for many budget years to come without an improvised revenue source. And whereas through active participation from office holders, county commissioners, and members of the community, it is evident that required revenues will not meet the funding needed to maintain basic service levels of county government. And whereas the public deserves the right to an open knowledge of how and where their monetary contributions are expended. And whereas a responsible vehicle operator residing in Hawkins County should also contribute to the funding of specific public safety assets deemed useful during such emergencies. Therefore, be it resolved that the wheel tax on all motor-driven vehicles, including motorcycles and motor-driven bicycles and scooters, in Hawkins County be increased by the sum of $40 per vehicle, with $30 of the interest paid to the general fund and $10 of the $30 of the increase paid to the general fund and $10 of the increase allocated to a designated public safety reserve for public safety and public safety capital expenditure. Further, be it resolved that at the end of the fiscal year, any unexpended public safety reserve funds shall be placed in the undesignated general fund balance. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Vaughn, second by Commissioner Hall. Commissioner, we'll start speaking now. Commissioner Burrell, do you wish to speak now, or you go to the floor? You were the next one.
Okay, Nicole, if $40 wheel tax pays, will this solve our problem, or we're gonna be right back where we are in a year or two?
Well, it depends on if you put restrictions on it, the exemption, my understanding, calculations done, considering exemptions with the lower income requirements, if you do that, a dollar does not generate as much. What we told this commission all along, working with Ms. Nancy Davis, is $1 generates $53,000. So if you put $40 unrestricted, it would give you a balanced budget plus with a fund balance. If you did $40 with 30 of it having restrictions attached to it, there's an estimated amount that a dollar will generate $42,400. And my understanding in reading this is that $30 would have the exemption requirements similar to property tax relief that the trustee's office. The $10 would not allow the exemption, so that would generate $530,000. It would be solid income for county clerk's office to manage that. Exemption is a part of it.
But Nicole, this resolution hasn't been amended for any exemption at the current time.
So, I guess my next question is, what has the budget committee done to make sure we don't overspend the rest of this year, next year, and the year after? I mean, what plan do we have in place to make sure we're not gonna get in the same situation we're in right now? If we get out of it.
Well, the plan we have is we're monitoring the budget, we're monitoring the spending, we're bringing the actual dollars spent in county line items, and we're bringing those estimates that were appropriated for that more in line with what we're actually historically been spending. We've had a positive impact on the 17-18 general fund budget during the workshop of nearly $1 million. We've also eliminated or denied requests of things that will at some point have to be purchased by the county in the neighborhood of $750,000. Now that's $750,000. It's not things that the county would like to have. It's things that at some point you're going to have. That's including roofs, that's including some paving projects, it's including some HVAC systems. So in the words of Mark Lincoln there at one time, he said, we're just kicking this can down the road. At some point, we'll have to keep that can up and deal with it. Well, we're going to have to, these projects that we're putting down the road, at some point, we're going to have to put a plan in place that we're going to be able to fund these. So right now, we're going to have to build our fund balance in the general fund, and that is where the budget committee has been geared toward doing it. It's just trying to get that fund balance increased.
So with the budget coming up next month, is anybody in this budget coming up getting a raise or anything?
The only one that is proposed in the current budget was the highway department. Under the highway fund is getting a raise, and the sheriff had submitted to get step raises for his employees.
So how are we gonna pay the raises when next year rolls around?
Well, this, the budget that's in there now, it's $253,000. So we're not working, we're not to $315,000 negative like it was when we first started. We're $253,000 good, but we're still $1.6 million deficit budget. That makes any sense.
If the good happen that much money, how can we really give people raises when we getting taxpayers to take a bill on it? I mean, I don't understand, we don't even have savings.
The county budget committee is not the final say of anything. We have put together 2 different drafts of the budget, and each commissioner has a second draft now. And when we meet, each commissioner will have their say on the budget, and if there are certain things they want done, that would be the time, I think, for your conversation with the questions you have. It's really not related to what the resolution is, more geared towards the budget issue. So when the budget comes up to be approved, the full commission can take the budget presented by the county budget committee and can, by majority vote, do what they want to with it.
I kind of disagree, man. I mean, it ain't too late. I mean, it was too late 10 years ago. I mean, that's why we're where we are now. So we need to figure out how we're going to fix this, and it'll be a fix. So next year or the next, we're not having property tax increase. And the way I've got it figured, if this passes $40, the way it's rolled up, I mean, we still ain't gonna have no savings.
Tell me how you like to agree.
Well, we're gonna have to figure out what we actually need, because I don't think nobody really, I've heard 4 or 5 different things what we actually need. And you just sit here and told me another figure.
Well,
so I mean, I wanna know, where's my budget, what's the bottom dollar we need to fix this? And a true number, I don't want something thrown out.
You need a tax increase that is going to sustain a $1.6 million deficit budget. And this is what we went over in budget years. This is what we went over with Mr. Mohouse. And I don't mean no disrespect by this, Commissioner Terrell, but you wasn't in any of those meetings.
That's right.
Mr. Bean, the money was in his budget, he didn't have no additional funds to give his guys a raise, he had to pay his budget to do that. So if he don't need no additional funds, I don't see a problem with giving this guy a $40. He's got his own money, so
He's the only one I ever know that can give his employees raises, and they ain't hardly actually done that.
Okay, let's see, we have Commissioner Lincoln sitting next, I know it's Commissioner Castle, wipe them out. Commissioner Castle, I'm gonna recognize Commissioner Lincoln and then Commissioner Newton, because they were up there prior, and then I'll get you. That makes sense. Commissioner Lincoln.
Well, I talked to Nicole and a couple others, and I wasn't tired of you to make decisions because I've got a real job too, but I did listen to this.
You know, talking about a real job, people in my profession are getting killed every day. There's a lot of guys standing back there, they probably take offense at you saying that we don't have a real job.
Well,
We have a real job.
We got paid. But to go on from this, the proposal that's in there is not going to fix our county budget. It will fix it for this year, but next year, well, it won't be next year because it's election year. But 2 years, they've been looking for a property tax increase. I talked to the code, $31 will fix it to get the state off our bank. I propose that the $40, I'll vote for $40, but that $9 goes in a rainy day fund that it takes 2/3 of the commission to vote that money out to give it to the people that needs it. If it's that way, they can't just take it out when they want it. It has to have 2/3 of the commission to get that money out. We got a savings going then, and then if people needs it, they can come and ask for it. But right now, and that's not going to help us. I mean, that's going to help us start building, but until we start correcting our spending, it's not going to help one thing. We got to control spending, start a savings account, and this is the best way to do it. That way, it's going to be hard for them to take that $9 out that it's creating to get to. So our property, people that owns property, the citizens of the county, this is for y'all. This what it is now. They're going to be asking for more money.
I recognize the gentleman back.
Yes, go ahead. Well, I got this guy been holding his hand up like they too.
Can I come up front?
Come on, baby. Yeah, I get it.
Commissioners, I'd like to thank you for this time right now. My question to you, sir, is this. What are you going to tell me the following year?
Huh?
What are you going to tell me the following year when you don't have enough money? You're going to raise the taxes more. And sir, you said you have a real job. But you know what the difference between us little people and you?
Little people and me?
I said, little people like me. Is that you can turn around and sit in an air-conditioned building while other people in this county work in a factory 12 hours a day. Don't have benefits. Don't have this and that. You know, when are you going to turn around and realize, because for years this has been going on, if you had to live as an average person, the people behind me that get up and go to work and this and that, that only have a little bit of pay to work with each week, or if you screw up so royally on your figures and say, well, this projected to this and this, we end up paying the price. And the sad thing is, I want to say the firefighters back here, and the police and this and that. You guys are the pawns for these people up here. They use you to get you going, and then when they screw up, because they can't balance the budget, you turn around and the fire people lose theirs, everything else. Really? We turn around and we pay the price. If you have to cut, why do they have to cut? Why do we need 21 commissioners in a county that's the poorest county in the state of Tennessee, practically?
We wouldn't if we had you up here.
Think about it. When I get my tax bill from you, different services, if I don't pay you, you will turn around and seize my product. This is the difference. This has been going on for years. And you know what? If you have to close the city hall down, all right, and not have 21 commissioners up here for the poorest county, then you know, I'm sorry. You guys got to get laid off. Like the rest of these people, if they get their cuts and not have to go.
Well, hey,
That's the difference.
it's not average, you don't pay taxes. I'd like to know, pal.
Yeah.
You said we're all above average, and don't pay our taxes. Which one of us is that you're talking about?
Because it's easy for you guys, it's easy for you guys on the budget committee, okay, to look at those figures. You knew 2 years ago this was going to happen. My question is, you're going to turn around and raise my real tax, and in the fall, you're going to tell me that you don't have enough money, and so on and so on and so on. That's the difference.
I still have 4, we still got one back there.
I'm not going to say my name, and most of you know why. Most of you know me and know what I do, and I take a lot of offense to what you said, Mike. I mean, I'm telling you right here in front of everybody. I work in every organization that's recognized here tonight, as well as my boss sitting up there. I work 4 counties. Anytime you think you're man enough to step up and put up and do what I do and not call it a real job, because when's the last time you went to TRW and worried about not coming home to you? Besides guys that I work with that work for other agencies, work for the federal government, and work for the state, and make double what I make. And I've been offered those jobs. But I stay here because I care about the people, and I care about the man I work with. I give that man my word 6 years ago that I wouldn't leave him. And I've not. And you can ask him, you can ask my chief deputy if I've not had offered you. How many hours you work a month? 160? 200 at your real job? Come work with me. If you want to put 260, 280 in, let's go. I can do it all day long. And that doesn't count what I lost to you.
I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for the way I stated that. Should have called.
Well, don't apologize to me. Y'all know I apologize.
But he wants to call me out because I didn't come to the meeting. Dad had a meeting in the afternoon. They know about 5, 6 of us work. And we can't make it every time they have a meeting. And I was not required to be at that meeting. So if he wants to throw it out there, I apologize to everyone. I have supported public safety the whole time I've been in office. And before I was in office.
I agree with that.
Now, he won't sit here and say, I don't support you. I support every one of you.
No, that's never come out of my mouth.
I know it did. You made a comment that I did not attend that meeting. It don't matter if I attend that meeting or not. I wasn't on that committee to attend that meeting. And as far as I'm concerned, if y'all would have done y'all's job on that committee, we wouldn't be here today. That's right.
My name is Julie Baker from the Humane Society. I'd like to speak as a board member of the Humane Society and then as a citizen. Myself and the board all strongly recommend that we pass the wheel tax. We can't afford to cut. 95% of our budget goes to keeping the doors open. That's utilities and payroll. We don't pay for litter. We don't pay for dog food. We beg, borrow, and steal and do fundraisers and get everything donated. So 95% of the budget goes to keeping the doors open. 5% goes to animal care, which is awful in the animal care industry. So if you cut our budget, which if you don't pass the wheel tax, we all know we're going to be cut along with the fire department. If you cut our budget, then where is that going to come from? The 5% of the animal care, or we're just going to have to shut the doors. So what's going to happen when we close? I know you guys say you don't want to cut it, you're going to refuse to vote for it, but the truth is, when you do the numbers, and I've studied this for weeks, line by line comparison from our county to other counties, this county, we don't pay very many taxes. On average, per person, Hawkins County pays, and this is the average, not everybody owns land, not everybody has cars. Average, Hawkins County pays $52.33 per person to live here, okay? Sullivan County, $184.81, but they also have to pay $1 per bag for their trash pickup. I'm sorry, for the convenience center. So the trash man doesn't come out and pick it up. Just the same way we use our convenience center and it's free. Sullivan County and Washington County, they pay for this. So if you have 2 bags a week, which I have a big family, I probably have 8 bags a week, but if you have 2 bags of garbage a week and you pay taxes in Sullivan County, that's about $284 a year per person. Okay, and we are paying now $152. So if we add 40, it's $192.33. I mean, it's just common sense numbers. I mean, everybody says you guys are mismanaging money, but you're not. You just don't have it. You don't have the tax revenue from industry like the other counties do. You just don't have it. It's not mismanaging. And to say don't give the sheriff's departments a raise, I don't want low budget officers and sheriff's deputies. You guys, I mean, because if you don't give a raise, step raise, I mean, we're going to have the budget deputies. I don't think any of us want that. But, go back to the Humane Society, within the last year, we've lowered our euthanasia rate by 80%. So we only euthanize if the animal is for behavior reasons or for medical reasons. So if you cut us anymore, even 1%, I mean, we're not going to be able to keep up with these numbers. And of course, the contributions are going to come first. And again, the study line by line, the school systems, it's right on par with everybody else. The school systems, the sheriff's department is under budget, underfunded compared to the other counties. The only thing that's a huge deficit, a huge difference is humane society. The animal shelter in Washington County gets $350,000 a year. Sullivan County, $364,000 a year. Greene County, $153,000 a year. Hamlin County, I mean, this is Hamlin County, gets $133,000 a year for their animal shelter. We get 25. 25. I mean, that's ridiculous. And the only way to keep us open and to fund us at all is to pass the tax. And we have 5 cars. I'm okay to pay it. I mean, are you guys okay to pay the tax just individually to keep this county afloat?
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to ask for some definition of that $10. You said as defined in the resolution. I'd like to hear the definition of that. How's the money distributed out to organizations? Is it part of the $10, or is it part of the 30?
I can address that.
Okay.
The $10, what would happen is it would be set aside for fire, rescue squad, Humane Society, Red Cross in there as well. We did not spell out EMS, and there's a reason for that, and I'll get to that in just a second. But essentially what that does is those contributions that are currently in there right now will shift from the contributions over to the general fund. The new money, the $10, would fill the gap where that was taken out. The difference between what we're currently budgeted on fire, rescue, Humane Society, Red Cross, is probably going to be approximately anywhere from $120,000 to $150,000. That will be utilized for capital expenditures. EMS, I know EMS is for-profit entity.
What you say, what's for-profit?
Let me get to that.
I'm interested in hearing that too.
There's been numerous times that I have voted and spoke out about that and tried to get that removed. However, with going through all that we went through in researching EMS, we put the exploratory committee together. I can say I was wrong. Because EMS, if it is not funded with some public funds, will cease to exist. The money is not there to generate revenue. I preached all along that it was there, you bill for your services. There has to be some form of a safety. There has to be. There's no question about it. Right now, in Hawkins County EMS, who is the only provider within Hawkins County, happens to have a Medicare audit, your cash flow is going to dry up, what, maybe 60 days? About 60 days. If you were to have a Medicare audit and your cash flow was suspended, it would probably hold you up, your cash flow. I'm guessing 60 days. It's usually 90 days, so there we go. It's an additional 30-day gap. This is a crisis that will happen. At some point, it is going to happen. It will. There's just no question about it. Now, when? I don't know. I've not seen their financials. I believe that they're doing better. There's some convalescent calls that are up. Your cash flow, I'm sure, is doing pretty decent right now.
Well, what about the fire and rescue? What about the fire and rescue?
Right now, the way that we're, of course, what is approved as of right now, it will be getting the same amount that you got the previous year.
And distributed the same way?
Now, that will be up to the budget committee to make that recommendation, and then the county committee would debate that from there. So I can't make any form of concrete
I thought it was.
explanation.
Well, you said it was defined, I was interested in hearing it.
There's no, right now, the way that we did it, I wrote up some figures, some projections. It was not put in the budget as to what would go to what. And that's something for a later discussion.
I'd like to be involved, I'd like to sit in on that later discussion, if you don't mind.
Well, it's definitely an open meeting.
Good.
The budget committee is always an open door committee meeting. I'm not on that committee, but I attend those meetings when I get an opportunity to, just like there are several citizens that show up. So
Thank you.
it's publicized.
Commissioner Newton, no, that's Commissioner Castle, because he was actually in the Commissioner line. I'm not giving disrespect.
Has a resolution been presented and seconded?
Pardon?
Has a resolution been presented and seconded?
To suspend the rules, yes.
I put it in Commissioner Palmer second.
I'd like to amend that, to make the wheel tax $31. Let's give the taxpayers a small break, $31 will all go to the general fund. It'll cover the budget, and there'll be money left over for no property tax. I took $1 wheel tax on $50,000 cars. I've done the math, the state said we have over $60,000, I was told Ms. Davis said we have $53,000, so you take the 31 wheel tax on 53,000, that's $3,000 more, you go to every $31 there, you went on every car. We're gonna be saving a bunch of money right there. If you do it on the states, you're really gonna have extra money. You're gonna have $2.4 million if they've got $60,000. But 31 on the 60,000 bring in 1.8. We're way above what we're losing. 1.6. It's not gonna be a permanent here, but if we get the budget there, if cuts in there can be made, that'll be a start right there. This will save the taxpayers a little bit of money, but not a lot of money. And I'll present that as an amendment.
Okay, let me recognize Commissioner Vaughn, and we'll come back and vote on your amendment, because she had before. Commissioner Vaughn?
Trent.
Mr. Trent.
Commissioner Trent, I'm sorry.
Okay. This is, excuse me, kind of irrelevant. But before you decide to run for county commission, you should research the duties and requirements, and you should avail yourself to those. Okay. I'm a retired senior citizen, but I currently work 3 jobs to keep up. I have 3 cars, and I would gladly pay for $40 bill. We were all encouraged to come to the budget workshop where Mr. Mumpower informed us on the embarrassment that it would be to Hawkins
second that.
A motion by Commissioner Kessler, second by Commissioner Allen. Okay, I'm over that.
Can we have the budget director, finance director address the $31 because it's not 31, how that would play into the budget?
Did you have to go on $63,000 car
First,
for
for
state
clarification, you want the $31 with no exemption for the popular
get to sit down with the group and look and see if something that we can make, I know it's been made before.
You're welcome to see those, that's what I contacted everyone on last Thursday, to say that that's what we had available, and we tried to get those out, and contacted everybody to let you know. This is the details of the general fund budget. It started out with notes on the front, it shows you the cuts that have been made, what the
See, we
contributions.
just update this week, though, we need time to look before we can cut our ass. We don't have time. Probably make some cuts ourselves, you know. Rick, that's it.
The cuts that have been suggested by the budget committee exceed what Commissioner Berger and Commissioner Bone had proposed for the 16-17 budget.
See, if we need to have a meeting, we don't know what's going on that way.
It's in front of you, it's been given to you last week, I know it's
Give
late
them
in the
a
week.
Friday evening. Friday morning.
Mr. Alice, if you would second that motion.
The next meeting scheduled will be this Thursday. It's a joint meeting, but I would say if Commissioner Vaughn agrees that there, he could make discussions and recommendations to the general fund budget as well after you hear the school budget.
And the $31, I understand this, make sure we get this correct, will not cover the 20% cuts that's projected for the non.
That's what I was going to ask Commissioner
Like the rail says, the brewer says, we don't know what the budget's gonna be, we have our meeting by.
If you need $2.1 million unassigned fund balance.
1.6, what I've been told.
Okay, well, if you need, I mean, if six has to we have the fund balance, are we just gonna tip tap it?
Or we don't know, we said maybe nine, something like that, way at 3. Hey, here's where we're going to do that.
I would, would you entertain the thought of making $34 and
Making 37 at bottom line, taxpayers need to work.
If we don't read the same.
And I commend you for wanting to do the 31, 33, you said 34. But if we could get her numbers again, you said at 33, it would give us a surplus. What if we went with the full 40? What are we looking at for a surplus, and where are we going to stand for the next fiscal year as far as what we need to have a balanced budget?
Sir, we had surplus for the last 2 years, we have $3 million into that.
That's what I'm asking. I mean, what would it be?
What
What
is
is
that?
that?
What's it going?
Good question. That's something you guys should have a handle on. I don't know. I'm just saying that at the $40 rate with the surplus, we should have a good amount that's going to carry forward for that next fiscal year. Without having to increase property taxes or cut any public services or anything.
You did not have a surplus for the 15-16 year. We used over $1.5 million from the general fund. So the fund balance reduced $1.5 million. And that was taking measures by the elected officials holding down spending, or it would have been higher than that.
What about if you do the full $40 wheel tax? Okay, because you were just doing numbers up there a minute ago. What's that going to allow for a surplus at the end of the fiscal year that hopefully will still be in the general fund?
On $40?
Yes.
$40 for 12 full months of collections would generate $2,120,000. So on the second draft budget that some commissioners want more time to look at, if it's not changed, you would have an unassigned fund balance of $2,373,476.
And that means all our public services, everybody's going to be funded. We're going to be good, have a surplus going in. What's the problem? I mean, I understand a lot of people say $40 is a lot of money. I've been here 10 years, and where I came from, it costs $175 to do your car a year. Okay? So we're looking at what, 40 more, so $90-something. I mean, come on, I know everybody wants to help the taxpayers or constituents and everything, but guys, until we can get a better handle on this is a great solution for everybody.
bare bones. They've not hired people, they've cut their expenses, but it's gonna come a time that they're gonna have equipment, they're gonna have supplies, they're gonna have additional personnel. That's gonna cost you. You're gonna have to repair some buildings and do things. You have been lucky. You have dodged the bullets. You don't have a penny in your reserve because you robbed it, you gotta put it back. Now to do this and do it right, you're going to have to go to $40. To do anything less than that, you're just whistling in a wind. Go for $40. Now everybody else, I believe, will tighten their belts as much as they can. The elected officials of the other side, they will realize that you can't keep coming back every year and every year.
Phil, 33, they better take it.
Sometimes your hand has to be like that instead of like that. You understand that? Now, $40 will get us to the point that we've got a good, solid, balanced budget with a surplus. Now, whoever heard that word in the last 6 months, having a surplus? But we would have a little bit. But we got to take care of it. We got to get as much as we can back in the reserve. Now, probably, and you don't want to hear this, probably you want to come along. Next year, when you get this behind you, and probably throw a 10-cent property tax on it, I don't like that any more than anybody else. I'll pay property tax, and I'll pay wheel tax. It's going to cost me $80 more a year to go with $40 just for wheel tax. Go with $10 out to 10 cents out there on property tax, that's going to cost me another $25, $26. I'm going to have to pay this. I'm paying for 2014. I'm paying for the tax. I put the 6 and 7 cents I put on last year. Now, I'm telling you, you can't just go bare bones. You've got to put money back for emergency funds. And to do that, you're going to have $40. And that's it. If you haven't done enough sense to realize that, then vote the thing down and legislate this rate.
Folks, can I just ask a couple quick clerical kind of questions? Number one, the budget that you determined that this fuel tax is going to generate, the revenue, what percentage compliance did you base that on? Anybody?
I don't know, $50,000. $1 per feet.
No, I mean as far as the citizenry complying with the fuel tax, what percentage actually do you get out of that? Do 90% comply, do 95% comply? What's the number on that? So basically that number you're generating in your budget is 100% compliance.
Mine is 3,000, he said, each 3,000, how much will be? That's $3,000 difference.
I don't think you quite understand what
Some of users.
not everybody is going to pay their taxes like a citizen.
Some of them go pennies more than
So you're basing this number on who's
they do that now.
registering now. I guess you got the current number of who's registered this year or whatever, and you're adding $40 per, and that's where you come up with the number. Is that right? Okay. Question, that's just a clarification. I just wondered what you were basing that on. And Officer Vaughn, question number 2. When you pull a fellow over because he didn't comply and write him a ticket, and he's found guilty and he's going to pay, where's that money go? Into whose fund is that ticket?
Go back to the general fund, whatever the county.
Awesome. That's what I want to hear. The guy's cheap, get it back in there. Yeah. I like that. That's all I had. I just wanted to know what the percentage was. What is the actual percentage of folks that do comply in the county every year? I wonder.
Yeah,
Is that a number you can't even read?
No, her figures are actual. What Nancy
Those
Davis.
are actual figures based on a year's revenue coming in for the wheel tax.
Okay, so it's based on current, all right.
Yes.
So do you actually have any guess as to how many folks are kind of cheating?
I send out letters every month where people have purchased.
Well, I'm not using, I know everybody's trying. I'm just wondering, do you actually have a guess?
Of the letters I send out, the
The
number of
folks who are just
responses.
skating by and opening the
so it's basically, the numbers are based on the reality of right now,
Yes.
projecting that forward. Okay, I appreciate it.
Where we're at now.
I know we're in a bad state. We $99 million in debt right now. That's where we're at. We need to put that money back. We can start paying that debt down too. We can't just go even every year. It's gonna come up next year, like I say, put more back. You can't read the right on the wall. The Board of Education is coming to you in a year or two. And tell you, we're broke again. They're putting in the paper every week. We're coming towards shortfall again. That's the Board of Education. They're spending money like it's crazy. Here we are in the red right now. What was in the headlines of the paper the other day? A 2% raise. Right off the bat. With us in the red. I worked for a company, I'm a manager for a company. In 2009, when the economy failed, the guys had to take $1.50 out of the pay. We need to freeze the pay. Don't give when they're making above a certain amount of money. Donnie does well because he keeps hitting in his budget. But your school board is spending money like it's crazy right now. And they're going to come at you again in another year or another 2 years, just like what Brewer was saying. They're hiding money. And he'll come at you again. So you've got to put the money back and you've got to learn that word no. That two-letter word, no, what's going to be said.
All right, Mr. Brewer, is that where we're at? Mr. Newhall.
We approve this increase. The lady over there said that she didn't want to see raises give out. Mel's got raises in your budget for people, right?
Yeah. They're mandatory, the mandatory raises are the ones that come from the state. I'm getting a raise, Sheriff Lawson, Assessor of Property, all the elected officials.
I know that, but I'm talking about people that work for you.
No.
There's no raise.
No raise.
There's raises on the sheriff's side, right?
Yes, sir.
And plus, next year you're gonna need a fleet of cars, right? Looking that way. And we'll be wanting to float a bond and add more money, it'll probably be how many $1,000? $600,000, $600,000. And we're just on the edge of growth. And if we do approve this, in less than 2 years, they'll be back needing at least $3 million with the growth that we've had in the last 10 years. That's right. And they'll be wanting $3 more million on your tax, on your land tax. And this ain't gonna solve it. This is just a temporary band-aid. You mean the 31? You mean the 31? Well, 31 or 40, either one, that's gonna solve it. Might solve it right now, but next year's gonna look to see.
When you give the raise, you get them back with it.
Because all we raise is recurring expenses. We've been facing 8% growth every year. That's all I got to say.
I want to recognize this lady back here, she was speaking, and I'll
Of the $40, if you do the $40, or I know Castle had asked for the 31, it'd have to be all go to the general fund, right? Is that what you were talking about, Fred? If you done the 31, it all go to general fund?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what if you're doing the 40, what is your plan?
I didn't bring the 40 up.
I know you didn't, I'm talking about who was the property?
Be 30 general fund, $10 to public safety.
For the capital project.
We're broke. Why is the $40, if you did $40, why is the $40 not going to general fund? We're broke people.
Here's the way to think, that $30 goes to the general fund, the $10 designated for public safety would move in and take the place of the funds that are currently in contributions that's being pulled from the general fund. And so that would go over
Why pull that from the general fund when you're gonna be putting this in the general fund? What's the difference?
Because there's also the potential to do an exemption there, where those individuals that make $16,240 or less a year can get a $30 exemption. Now, based on the demographics and the statistics around, that would be about $380, potentially, I don't have that, $310,000 off of that. So,
But if only $30 is going in the general fund, what Nicole said, is that not gonna, that'd do anything for us, is it?
that the funds that are currently being expended in contributions, which comes to, I believe, $424,000. All of that money, that $424,100, that will shift over to the general fund. And the $10 public safety fee would then fill that. Plus, you'll have a little bit of a surplus to be able to have available for.
Right, the surplus needs to be there. I mean, we need some savings, but.
I see that, what Commissioner Newton was talking about, the cars.
I just want to understand.
That $10 where it's supposed to say expenditure, that would have money earmarked every year for the purchase of patrol cars. I know we started a couple of years ago, the Commissioner told the sheriff, we're going to go away from buying fleet vehicles, or hopefully we're going to buy so many a year. But that happened, how many years did that happen? 1 year? Did it happen 1 year? So you've not been able to buy cars, we've not bought the sheriff's cars, and we did the vehicles from the year before last money, though. So,
Well, if they need cars, why they getting raises? Taking raises for the cars.
I'll let the sheriff answer that.
I'm Tony Allen, I work for the sheriff. Our people are not getting paid raises. It's a step process. Whenever the county went into the overall steps, this is what you want to get paid, the sheriff opted not to go into that because they would have put everybody in the sheriff's office at a 5 or a 6. Actually, he saves since it's been in effect, well over $300,000. You're talking about step raises. These are not pay raises. These are step raises for these people.
Well, that needs to be told to the public because everybody thinks that.
These are not pay raises. You've got somebody who's making $26,000 a year or $23,000 a year. They go up for 3 years. It's very minimal. The biggest is at 4 and 5. They have to dedicate their lives, their career to the sheriff before they start actually making some money. I'm about 20 years into the sheriff's department. I went through my step raises. These people do not make enough money when they work in corrections, and you're wanting to take away their step raise. They don't make enough money to even drive to work. And they put their lives on the line every single day. These officers go out here and they carry a badge and a gun to keep us safe. And we're fussing that the sheriff turns in over $300,000. He don't spend every dime. But you want to take away a step raise from these officers? Because it's a little bit amount of money? He could spend every dime in his budget, but he don't. I'm sorry I'm upset, but you do not see how our officers live on a day-to-day basis. We work 2 and 3 jobs. We support our kids. These people in the public comes out here, they see us every single day. We have to be professional. But we have families just like everybody in this community. We have kids, we have wives, we have husbands. Stop arguing about a little bit of percentage for these officers.
Amen.
That's right.
Yes, we talk about people's heart, that people's hearts and minds. work 2 and 3 jobs to fight for the family. About 40 of my employees can't even afford health insurance. That's a disgrace to Hawkins County and the men and women that risk their lives. My office never closes. We don't close from snow, or rain, or nothing. We're open 24/7. I've got young people just 20 years, 19 years old. They risk their life standing face to face with murder and everything else. And y'all gonna whine about a state raise? These people would give their life to y'all don't even know. And y'all would be afraid to walk in Walmart when people are in jail. They're walking face to face with 20, 30 inmates around them. Sure, I got a big budget, but it don't come easy. When you talk about the cars, the last 2 years I've cut them cars out to save money. And she can tell you how much money have I saved on my budget? Over 42% last year. Keep fussing about my budget. I've cut it. I've done my part. I'm bringing over $1.5 million back in for housing state inmates. Now, if you really want me to cut my budget, I can cut out about half them state inmates. That'll knock out about $500,000 worth of revenue. I can save on the medical. I can save on the food. I can save on the light bill. So y'all pick your battle. Y'all been hollering, cut. That's all I've heard. Tell me which services you want me to cut. Which one, commissioners? I'm asking you all, not these people. They know. They're the one that calls. They're the one that sees the deputies in their communities. They're the ones, some of y'all even cut SROs. Now, what would that be? Do you believe that some of the commissioners want to cut resource officers out? You want to stop coming out here?
I don't want them cut, period.
See?
That's safety for our children.
Some of these guys will say it in private. They won't come out with I'm not going to cut them. I'm not cutting my employees. If nothing else, I'm risking the lives of these officers. They're here every night by themselves. Across the mountain, bad roads. You're in jail. You get 300 inmates. You got 7 people maybe sick at work. That's a danger. You're still going to lie. So it's time to man up. It's time to man up. I'm a taxpayer. We've come a long way since 1990. I've been doing this stuff for 40 years. We've come a long way. Let's not start back into the woods. We got to do the right thing. We got to take care of fire and EMS. We got to take care of our animals. We got to take care of our law enforcement. Us and public service, we're nowhere like life insurance and what's less than all we can need. But when we're needed, you want to serve right now. They done a smart thing. Next time y'all do another smart thing, just do a little surplus back. Because y'all bought cars out of PVA. You've done a lot of things to bring Hawkins County. Every office holder that's in here can tell you their office runs better now than it ever has. That's including mine. I've got a lot of men and women dedicated. Dedicated the rest of their life, you all. These office holders sitting here, they work hard. Y'all know when we're generating, when your crime rate goes down over the last 3 years, the way it has, you can tell it. You look at the Times News, the Rockville News, how many officers you see in it from my office? We'll take care of business like I promised, right? We're not paying yet, but we can't do it. I can't pay these officers like stock here for hours and hours and hours. I've cut the fire company. None of these raises. About the respect. These officers work hard. I hate to tell you how many officers I got back here from another Scots one. They've been here over 8 years, don't get nothing. You don't go across the middle, don't get nothing. But their bills go up, their utilities go up.
Y'all think that man don't care about somebody that works for him? He called me at 8 o'clock this morning and said, I need to meet you. Like I said, I work 4 counties. I've been from Chatsworth, Georgia, to Kentucky, to North Carolina this year. Some of you sitting up there know about it. I've talked to you about it. Talked to Mark. He called me on the phone out from Chatsworth, Georgia. I talked to you. 80% of the drugs coming into East Tennessee Tennessee. That man right there took it down because what he let us do. That man called me at 8 o'clock this morning, said, come in my office, I need to talk to you. He said, I've had you on my heart. I've been praying for you for 2 days. We've got the best sheriff in the county that's ever been. We've got the best one in the state. I put him against anybody. These guys on the fire department, I've talked to guys from Greene County, Hamilton County, everybody that went down there to Severe. Every one of them, nothing but praise. Man, y'all's fire department's got it together. How'd y'all get that good equipment? How'd you get this? How you get so many people to train? Because these guys care about the community. He's right. Step up. Do the right thing. You know, I don't want to pay no more taxes than I have to. I don't make nothing. $40 ain't that much. When your mama or your mom or your dad or your kids are laying out there and you have to pick the phone up and call 911, Gay needs our money. You want not to answer the phone? You're going to pick it up, ain't you?
That's exactly right.
Gary Merle's going to run 100 mile an hour from wherever he is. I don't care if he's in Gatlinburg. When you got parents that show up last weekend, like I had to stand and face and tell that their 20-year-old son had drowned in a car accident, and you had guys from Lakeview Fire Department and the rescue squad and PHP and deputies that stayed there all day till we found that boy. And you have to look at mom and daddy in the eye and say, I'm sorry for your loss. How many of you all are willing to do that? Cut to 30. Do 31. That's fine. Cut to 30. Your grandson's in the fire department. He won't be.
It's his choice, not mine.
Yeah.
He does good what I heard.
But he won't be, because there won't be a fire department there. These guys if we didn't have it to give, they'd go out and buy it on their own because they're motivated. They want to do it. But if not, I mean, we're going to be taking money out of our pocket to put gas in the vehicle to go. My granddaddy started in 1958. This man right here is Jim Carmine. What year did he start? 1974. They took money out of their own pockets to run the college. They raised tobacco to run the college, to pay insurance. Guys, we're asking for $40. I guarantee you, if we stood out here at the Walmart or the Food City or on Main Street, every car that drove by them, we stood in front of them and said, can you give us $40 so we can do it for you in a time of need? There was nobody that would drive through that line that wouldn't have that $40. If they had it on. I know that some people may not have it. If y'all pass this tonight, and they know that they're planning it there, hey, when I go get my tax, I've got to have $40. They'll save it. Do the right thing.
You said your grandson was on the fire department, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you love your grandson? This is the question. I'm asking. I like everyone.
To me, that's a stupid question.
Okay, that's exactly right. It is a stupid question. So, is it not to do the 40 so that your grandson can have proper PPE to risk his life for her, him, anybody in this room, even you? Would that not be smart to do? That way he has the proper stuff so he could do his job and possibly come home safe to you so you could hug him and love him and say,
Fire department you in?
I'm the Striggersville, sir. My name's Johnny Malley, the Striggersville Fire Department.
Is anybody here from Carter County? I got a grandson over there. Let me talk to this gentleman over here. How's he do?
He does good.
Does he try?
Yes, sir.
Does he put 4,000 what I didn't do. I chose different things to do. I chose different things. To me, there's a lot of things different, just one organization. I was up, what time did you see this morning?
About 10 to 5, I think.
What was I doing? What was I doing?
Thank you, Jerry, I believe, out front of Hawkins.
Right. There's other organizations for everybody. We all choose which one we want to do it.
And I'm glad you're up there. You got a hard job. I agree 100%.
It's not hard. I'm not using up 4 o'clock. I'm 10 to 7.
Either way, you got a job to do right now that's hard to do right now. Everybody in here is needing the $40. You are, I am, everybody. You're putting 30 on the table, 30 on whatever you sit there. It costs us so much money just to put an iron back on that we barely get now. If you go for 30, then we'll be cut 40. I mean, we can't operate barely over one way. Just like he said, I mean, look at everybody like I said, man, think about it. I'm asking you to withdraw that, please do right now, before you bring it. I know you will. You're passionate about it. This guy right here, those does a good job. I know you do something.
I'm not watching them either. I went to Rocky Mountain one time. I believe Butter Rock and Little Water stuff up there, didn't it? I don't get in their way. They know what they're doing a lot better than I do.
If you do the 30, you're cutting us, we're going to have to cut back, which possibly puts strain in. More on sheriff's call. We ain't gonna be able to sit out there and block trees and block roads and stuff, so they're gonna have to come out and start blocking roads. So I'm asking you, from the fire department, actually, anybody in here that's holding $40, I'm asking you to withdraw that and do the $40 for us. Or y'all can make great, whatever, you don't like to talk about whatever. But do that.
That's for the budget committee, I think, work their table out. They come up with these cuts. I think these boys work for like 2 or 3 months trying to figure something out, get through this budget.
And they've done it.
Well, they're done it, but here you are telling me now, we need to add back, see, it's.
Add back.
Yeah, you.
I actually add back up, you shot down the 40.
No, Corey's not getting shot now.
You just made it, they want to take down 32.
That's in the middle. Corey's not being shot now.
That's what I'm saying, back it out, don't vote on it. Leave that for let's vote this thing in today, right now. I'm out of time, that's all.
Real quick. We ain't never had a disaster in Hawkins County. Never had a disaster. Without a surplus and we have one, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if we have a disaster? Hey, I'm not going to go drink about what blew away the tornadoes. What's going to happen, Mr. Murphy, if we have a disaster, no surplus?
Same thing we've told for years. We're meeting with that.
Right.
Let the other Mr. Merle talk, he's been on the top.
I'll come up here so I'm not going to be sure.
The other Mr. Merle.
First thing I want to make sure is, understand my statement is that we are, Hawkins County MS as a non-profit organization. I may have misunderstood you, Mr. Manager, when I said back here. You said with this $40 will tax, MS is not included in any funds, is that correct?
There was not a specific dollar amount proposed because I don't believe we know what could happen. You've been at $30,000, Churchill had an additional 30, so if you know there's an amount of $60 to cover the whole county. Based on the regulations, there are some things that you're going to have to acquire to be in compliance.
How do you know how much they need? How do you know what everybody needs? That's what I'm saying. That can be utilized for that. If they need it, the sheriff's department needs it for me. So you want to go ahead and just take them out of the equation? Are they going to get more dollars? Yes, they are. They are getting them because of that money. We don't know.
Let's get back, you know, we've heard all this stuff, let's get back to our resolution here. Let's either pass something or go on, you know, if we can sit here, listen for hours, days and days, and you probably already got your mind made up, it wouldn't matter what happened, who walked in the door.
We do a roll call.
Yes.
I heard the other.
Yes, you bet.
I'm still on the board.
Time's exhausted, so that's, the deal's more than that.
Can I ask one more question? I want to ask all these people here, you're voting, how many of you would like to see a $40 bill tax on it if you've only got the half? Now, your representatives up there, you watching, if they don't vote for it, will you vote them out?
Now I got four. First of all, I'd like to address the sheriff. Thank him for what he's done for me. He invited me up to look at the jail. I suggest each and every one of you here, if you can get some of these citizens out here, they'll realize what you're running a mini prison there, Sheriff. It's a mini prison. And I didn't realize that. It opened my eyes to some things. When I came up there, after we presented that last year, I told you I'd been misled, didn't I? Huh? Did I not tell you, Sheriff, I had been misled? Let me tell you people here tonight, you know, you're assuming that if we don't vote this wheel tax, that's our only option right now, is this wheel tax. The state's coming in here and they're cutting your budget. That's what you see. We've got an option of getting a budget in place this next month and voting on it, and the same thing happens. And I'm still where I'm at. I've never said that I was opposed to a wheel tax. I will vote to fund a budget when we get a budget in place that I think that is a good budget. And I will vote for every how many dollars it takes to fund that budget. And I've received a hard time here tonight, just like I'm against you guys. I had a house fire one time, and there was nobody in the world more people to see the fire department show up. I about had it out on my own, but I was still glad to see you guys show up. And I commend everything that you do. I'm not against the fire departments. I'm for funding every penny that we got to go to you guys, because you deserve every bit of it. And I'm talking about the same thing with the sheriff. I told you the same thing, and the sheriff. And I would like to see more. I would like to see a canine officer on every ship. If we had a canine officer on every ship right now, we would put a herd on a lot more drugs than what we're doing right now, Sheriff. But we got the money right now. We got some money in the drug fund, but it still takes another officer to do that. You guys talk like I'm opposed to it because I'm saying I'm not going to vote for a wheel tax. When that time comes and we see how much we're going to need, it's not voting on no budget. We've not got a budget voted in place. Until it's voted on, we don't know how much money we're going to need for the budget. There's a proposal.
I'm just curious, does any of you have any doubt about what you're going to vote tonight?
No.
second, that would be the same as tonight, if you get on the second reading.
Voting on 31, this is the amendment, is that correct? So if you're for 40, you don't want to vote for 31.
I would,
If you're for 33, you don't want to vote for 40.
40 ain't gonna pass.
Depending on that, we'll vote on the resolution.
They better.
At the end, we'll vote on the amendment.
We gotta have 14 votes for this baby to get done. If we go back to the original amendment, the $40.
Well, we can't do that now. We got to do it.
Unless you want to roll the amendment, you have to vote on it. Okay, we're voting on the amendment. Let Mr. Bill stay before you over here, so make sure.
You're voting on the amendment, 31, vote yes for it. If you don't vote against the amendment.
The
Depending
amendment,
on what happens on that, we either vote on the resolution with no amendment, or we vote on the resolution with it. But right now, we got to vote on the amendment.
Mr. Melville, with, two folks absent, you just gotta have 13. It's still 14 regardless.
and those two would have been yes votes. I mean, I can speak for them. You know,
We're choosing him.
yeah, the other Tim, the other got some issues going on, the other one had, you know, he did a job, he did a job. All right, ready, vote.
Better prove it. They'll never have a chance of it.
Get ready to vote again. The $40,
This is on the $40 original resolution with no amendment.
no amendment. Okay, hang on just a minute. Let's hurry up to vote on that.
Do it. They had enough to get this 31.
Okay, now let me go see what the $40 will do one more time, okay? Make sure everybody's clear. This is what a $40 resolution will do. We get 2/3 vote, then we get it out to be passed this month, and then we get it next month. Get that passed next month. Okay, go ahead. Your sheet is that.
Budget come up before we vote again.
Okay, this is here.
$40, with $1 generating 53,000 will generate $2,120,000.
Now, what that will do, what will that do? That will reinstate, that will allow you to reinstate the 20%
That would
tax.
provide funding to reinstate
So the 20% tax on the city.
to the nonprofit.
And it would also allow us to build a fund balance. So there's two parts.
$40 over the course of the full year generates $2,120,000. According to
I'm getting ready to, I just want to do one more thing. I would have bet a week's pay that was real fast.